Griddle tour hits Oklahoma this weekend, and I just pulled in at one of my favorite places, Buc-ee's. So I'm certainly not a Buc-ee's historian, but if you're not familiar with Buc-ee's, Buc-ee's is a Texas original. It is a gigantic, and I mean gigantic, a Texas-size gas station convenience store chain. They're all across Texas. I've heard they're also in Alabama and in Daytona right now. These things are massive, and I absolutely love going there every time I'm in Texas. Now, the first thing you're going to notice about Buc-ee's is that they have a ton of gas pumps. I think the average Buc-ee's has approximately 100 gas pumps. I think some of them have approaching 125, maybe 140 or more gas pumps. In addition to a massive world record holding amount of gas pumps, Buc-ee's has ice. And let's take a walk around the building here. Buc-ee's has ice. Need I remind you, we're in a gas station in a convenience store. Jesus said his yoke is easy and his burden is light. These are the world famous Buc-ee's beaver nuggets. These are delicious. I picked some up last week. .30 coffee dispensers. Of course, Buc-ee's is famous for their jerky selection. There's nothing like it in North America. Of course, everything's bigger in Texas, and my car rental agency even hooked me up with a big old brand new Ram 1500 pickup truck for the price of my mid-size rental. Back in the truck, I need to head up to Oklahoma, but not before I have my Buc-ee's lunch. I've had Buc-ee's brisket sandwiches before, and they're actually a lot better than I thought they would be. Today we're going with the pulled pork. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Let's give it a try. That's a really good pulled pork sandwich. Pork is moist. I have to be careful. When I was in Buc-ee's last week, I actually busted a crown off my tooth. I was in California a couple weeks ago and busted a crown on one of my teeth, one that has a root canal underneath it. Of course, I didn't know what it was. I freaked out, thought my tooth fell out, went home, and the dentist put a temporary crown on the tooth while they ordered permanent crown. Came down here in the Buc-ee's parking lot last week and crunched. Oh, what is this? I thought I had some kind of a nut shell in my mouth when I was eating some food, and turns out I crushed the temporary crown. It was terrible. Got an ulcer on the side of my tongue because the exposed tooth cut my tongue really bad. So I went back, got another temporary crown. Last night at 1 a.m., this morning at 1 a.m., eating a granola bar before I went to bed, and son of a gun, if it didn't happen again, crushed the crown. Here I am leaving first thing this morning to come down to Texas. My dentist was so nice, and they put a temporary metal crown that will not break on my tooth now, so I can enjoy all the delicious food this weekend. Finish my pulled pork sandwich, and then I could break into my Buc-ee's cinnamon pecan roll. You know, I've had a lot of their jerky, other snacks, but I've never had one of their cinnamon pecan rolls. Picked up some gifts for some of my family members as well in there. My daughter wanted a t-shirt, got some other goodies to take home. I always bring souvenirs home from Buc-ee's. So I don't know what it is about me, but Buc-ee's is just a phenomenal place. I know I use the word phenomenal a lot, but it really is a phenomenal place. And it's so much fun. I wish I could bring the family down to Buc-ee's, so maybe we'll have to do a Texas road trip someday, if nothing more than to go to Buc-ee's. So, Griddle More Tour, folks. We're hitting Oklahoma. I'm driving up to Ardmore tonight, Ardmore tomorrow, Ada Saturday, and Sunday in Durant. And of course, next week, Griddle More Tour heads over to Arkansas. I'm flying into Little Rock, and we're going to be in Searcy and two other places that escape me right now. So folks, we'll see you on the road. Hopefully you enjoyed this break from the usual, heading over to Buc-ee's. There's so much more to see here. I'm telling you what, I just literally touched the tip of the Buc-ee's iceberg. I did a video in Buc-ee's a couple of years ago, so you guys can go back, and I'll link that at the end of the video. Until next time, everybody, hopefully you enjoy this video. This is Todd. I'm saying praise the Lord and pass the pulled pork.